Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague, and with me, like always, is someone who cried way more during Infinity War than he did during the end of Batman vs Superman, Noah Bailey.
There were only a couple here.
If you're new to this program, this is the show where Noah and I talk about all the nerdy stuff from the past week. And seeing how we're only less than a month away from E3, this week we are starting our road to E3. So every week from here till E3 starts, we'll be talking about one of the major, or even multiple of the major presentations that will be happening during E3. And considering Noah's investment in one major franchise from this company, I figured it'd be nice to start with Square Enix, because it was announced last week that they will actually be holding their first presentation since, I think, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, obviously they're gonna show Kingdom Hearts stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they don't, they may burn down the entire facility. So yeah, but no, I mean, it's like at this point, it's pretty much probably going to be like, final trailer, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Release date, more than likely anticipated and expected at this point.
Yeah.
I know they've got multiple, like, different, like, YouTubers and other gamers, like, they're flying them out, testing
Mhm.
the game out, stuff like that. So, like, it's happening. Like,
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time. So nice.
Hopefully, like if they show a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer and it doesn't end with even like a 2018, just generic 2018 release date, like what are you even doing? Why are you holding a press conference at that point?
Like, it's like, if I don't get updates, why are you even here? I don't come to me until you tell me when. Oh my
Like
goodness.
it would be insanity if we've waited like since 2007 to 2013 without any information. It was announced in 2013 with just no, like, a very vague reveal trailer, and then I think, was it 2016 we got more information like 3 years later,
Yeah.
and every year people thought, oh, it's coming out next year, and it just hasn't come out yet.
Next year. Nope. Nope.
It would
Nope.
be
Eh,
insanity if we got a new trailer this year and then it said coming soon. Like they have to have a release date this year. If they don't,
I
like, why are you
mean,
even showing up?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, oh, 2018, which don't get me wrong. I'm happy that it's like, confirmed 2018. But at the same time, it's like, all right, but like that's great. But that's a lot of time. Like, can you give me a little hint? Give me like watch them only give me like the month, and then like
The month.
give me the
That'd
day,
be
and
that'd be something though. Or
yeah, but
if it
like
was even just
I mean,
holiday 2018, that'd be something.
yeah, but I mean, like literally, just give me like at this point, I want to know. Like
Yeah,
I want to know.
yeah.
I
Like
don't care.
regardless, they'll be 11 years late from the initial
Like,
announcement.
I mean,
So
like at this point, I'm just like, there were times where I'm like, I just hope this game exists, and
yeah,
it's like, no, it's real, I promise. I'm like, okay, all right, all right. Like I haven't seen it. Like I'm seeing it, but like I've yet
like
to see said copy. So like,
yeah,
you know
like
what?
we've technically seen information about this game. We've seen trailers, we've seen new worlds, but there's no real indication that all we have seen so far is not just stuff created for this trailer.
Mm-hmm. What I'm saying, it's kind of, that's great. You're giving me, oh, new stuff. Okay, but is it real though?
Is
Like,
it
how do I know
real
you guys
though?
didn't just draw this and are like, oh, I don't really get it. Like,
Yeah.
like I need, I don't know. I just once I get the release date, I'll just like the comfort. It's just like, all right,
Mhm.
it's here.
It
It's
has to actually come
soon.
out first. Keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
I know. I'm just saying, like, once you give it like a legit release date, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can always push it back, but like, there's no really,
Mhm.
like, at some point, it is coming.
Yeah. So, what all do you think they'll show this year? Do you think they'll like have a complete blowout of everything, or do you think they'll show like one or two new worlds?
Probably. I know more than likely. I mean, because I mean, the theme's really been there, like trailers that highlight the worlds, because we got Toy Story, and then we got Monsters Inc. Those like specific worlds. So I think this time they're gonna probably show, like, spend the trailer on one world and then release it. So I think like a Big Hero 6 or something like that
Mm,
probably be the main theme of like, the
Yes.
trailer, and then at the end, oh, and then some little storyline stuff, little Easter egg there, and then
Hmm.
it's releasing
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sometime this year.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, so
Big
I
Hero
think
6
it'll.
world would be really cool. If we can't
I
get
know.
Incredibles or Avengers, Big Hero 6 will be good enough. I mean,
Yeah,
that's still, you would still have Thor basically being a superhero. So
right.
if you
Yeah, that's
can't
what
have
I'm
the
saying.
other
Like
two big, yeah, that'd be fine.
yeah, I doubt they're gonna do like Marvel just because like I mean, that'd be a lot of like they like don't not that they don't put a lot of investment before, but I feel like I don't know, that'd be a lot just to like
Yeah.
get all that in there. But like, I think like Big Hero 6 is I'm pretty sure that's confirmed. So like basically it's still a superhero, still awesome. Like and that's a good universe. I could really see
Hmm.
those merging together. So like this is
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
Yeah. I also firmly believe there'll be a Frozen and or a Tangled
Mhm.
world.
Yeah, those are yeah. Tangle's been confirmed and
Oh,
like
it has?
Frozen.
Okay.
Yeah, it has. I believe Frozen's confirmed. I'm not totally sure
It's
though. I
all
know
but
for a
confirmed. It's
fact.
Frozen. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's gonna have it's just like it hasn't technically
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited.
Is there a Lilo and Stitch world in any of them so far?
Um, I know there's a Lilo and Stitch world, I believe, in one of like Birth by Sleep, one of the like other lesser known Kingdom Hearts games, I
Okay, like
guess.
Game Boy or DS
But
ones.
yeah, well, yeah, it was originally, I believe it was originally like DS or something like that, and they moved
Mm,
it up with an update. But like, yeah, there's been a Lilo and Stitch where and like Stitch has been like a summon and other and like Kingdom Hearts 2. So like,
okay.
there's a possibility they give them another world, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
think this year they're gonna focus more on like brand new, never on Kingdom Hearts before, because it's
Mm,
been a long gap, obviously, since the last Kingdom Hearts game. So
yeah.
like, they're trying to make up for all the movies they missed out on.
Yeah. So you already kind of mentioned Marvel. How likely do you think it'll be that something like Star Wars would get in?
I would love like a Star Wars. I
Mm,
don't think it's going to happen. I wouldn't totally be against like I think like there might be like maybe like certain characters from Star Wars might show. I don't
mm,
think there will be like a Star Wars world just because that kind of not that it wouldn't make sense, but like you have individual worlds within Star Wars, so you can't really
yeah.
have a world that has a galaxy in it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it kind of
Mm,
I don't know. They might try to put something in there, but I don't think it's gonna be like a whole Star Wars like world.
yeah. Because I could just imagine the trailer like having the release date, the crowd going wild, and then you just like hear that iconic whom, and then a light like a green lightsaber comes up, trailer over. That's it.
Dude,
The
that's all you
crowd
get.
would go insane over that.
Or just like the awkward like Darth Vader starts breathing. He's like, "Oh my
Yes,
god, did
that's
you
yeah.
hear that?" And everyone erupts. Oh, that would be beautiful. I might cry.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, but I don't know. Like, it'd be amazing if they did have Star Wars. I don't see it happening, but you
Yeah,
know what? I mean, I'm open to it if it does happen.
yeah. Like Disney owns everything, so I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if, assuming Kingdom Hearts 4 even like is a thing in like 20 plus years. I
basically.
wouldn't be surprised if in the next Kingdom Hearts there were like more overlap between
Yeah,
all their different franchises.
yeah. I think they like if they made another Kingdom Hearts, I think they would like add that into it. I feel like you would almost have to have like a separate like universe for like all the newer stuff because
Yeah.
like with Marvel and like how big Star Wars is, obviously like it's all like
Mm,
Star Wars could be a Kingdom Hearts game by
yeah.
itself,
Yeah.
like, just with different Star Wars worlds. So like just adding how big that universe is to what our Kingdom Hearts already has, that would just
Mm,
like so much
yeah.
content.
Or I
So
could even see them having like Star Wars or Marvel or any other Disney property like
mhm.
DLC down the line.
that is something I've thought about because like the thing about DLCs, which is different from like the last time Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, like you can just keep adding on even after the games come out. So like if they're like, you know what, we didn't think we were going to, but you know what, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make a Marvel world where you
Yeah.
can be party members with like Thor and Hulk, and you have to fight Thanos or whoever,
Yeah.
kind of like whoever, like like that would be epic, especially with
Mm,
all the movies coming out this year, like.
yeah.
Why not, right?
Be free advertising at that point.
I mean, like they need it, but yeah, and they're just all about the money.
Hmm. Yeah. So Kingdom Hearts, like I wouldn't. I'm expecting them to lead with that, considering that is
Hmm.
like their like big game supposedly
Oh
coming
yeah.
out this year. Another game that's like has been talked about ever since I think 2015, Final Fantasy VII Remake,
Mm-hmm.
which apparently when it swept, apparently they were first outsourcing it to I think Crystal Dynamics. I could have the studio wrong, but once Crystal Dynamics, I'll stick with it. Once they decide we don't want to do this, they send it back to Square Enix. They completely scrapped all the progress that the original developers had. So like almost a year's worth of work just scrapped.
Yeah, just
So
start
even if
over.
that game was scheduled to come out, let's say 2019, I'm not sure if that's the case anymore.
Yeah, and if it was, it'd probably be like late 2019 at best, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, the way it's set up, I mean, obviously you have the original game to work off of, but with, that game so long, old, like, PlayStation 1, so you got
Mm,
so much you've got to add in and like
yeah.
readjust and all that stuff. And it might not even be the same type of game. Some people like they might do kind of like the Final Fantasy 15 route, make it more of like a
Action RPG.
action game
Mm-hmm.
than like the turn-based standard, which my
Yeah.
brother would hate it if it did. He loves his turn-based games, but
Yeah.
like I think I don't know. It depends on how they decide to go with it, but either way, yeah, it's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, because from the few trailers we have gotten since 2015, um, it has. I don't think we've seen any turn-based combat. We've only
Hmm.
seen action-based combat.
Right.
Maybe they're doing like overworld stuff with action, and then like individual
Maybe.
like boss battles would be turn-based. I feel like that could work. Maybe.
Yeah, that maybe a little mixture of that in. I mean, just kind of give something for like, new players trying to get in, but also like I know like a lot of your like older original fans, like they really don't want it to go away from like the turn-based style because that's why a lot of people like this Final Fantasy 15, like a lot of people were on the fence about it. Like it
Mm-hmm.
looks amazing. Like the game
Yeah.
looks great. It's so detailed, like this huge open world thing. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, it's like it's not, it feels like you're not playing Final Fantasy. And that's what the biggest criticism I've heard about it from
Yeah.
people in general.
Yeah. Um, I I'm just curious why Square Enix keeps announcing stuff like 10 years in advance. Cuz cuz E3 2015, that was like Sony's year of dreams. They announced
Hmm.
Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy. They had a new trailer for Final Fantasy 15, and I think they also had something for Kingdom Hearts there too.
Hmm.
Only one of those games has come out so far.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. They have a reputation for like really like long-term stuff, but they make you feel like it's coming out
Yeah,
sooner, but it's really coming out
yeah,
much later. Like
and
they build
that's
up that anticipation.
yeah, that's why one I heard one person like one streamer I watched, someone asked him like, "Who do you think's gonna win E3 this year? Like, win like you can actually win E3."
Mhm.
And he said, "Oh, Sony's gonna win, obviously, because they always show stuff that's super exciting that's not gonna come out for 10 years. So like, obviously they're gonna
I
win."
I mean, they're not wrong. Like that's kind of how it usually
Yeah,
goes. It's like, oh
like
man,
yeah,
you're
like
gonna
at
be, grown by now, but this is gonna be great.
like at that
Uh,
E3 2015 where they showed 15 and 7. They also showed Shenmue 3, which also hasn't come out yet, which like we don't really know much information about that. It was just
is it
recently
even
delayed into
real?
2019. So it was announced 4 years in advance. Like, why?
Oh man, like I don't know, especially with like with other games with like Sony, like that Spider-Man game, it's like oh yeah, it's coming out this year. You're not gonna wait for it. It's not like oh, they're showing this great game. All right, 2021, like
But even
we're
that was
not.
shown in 2016 first, I think.
Yeah, but like I feel like they didn't keep like how some
Mm,
games like some developers they just keep giving you little breadcrumbs and
yeah,
you think you're finally getting
yeah.
closer and then you
Every
turn the
Square Enix
corner.
game, basically.
Exactly. It's like, oh man, this is the year. It's finally coming out. And it's like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, you don't want he's like, you're not in this line, you're in that line
And
across the
I
mountain.
love it when publications say like, oh, like let's say Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts was
Mm-hmm.
delayed into 2018. as if it had ever had a release date to begin with. Like it wasn't delayed anywhere.
Delayed. It can't delay if it's not scheduled to arrive.
Yeah.
It's just I swear, like I feel like this game's been done for like the longest time. They're just
They're teasing
waiting
us.
longer. That's what I'm saying. Like I really think they are because
Mhm.
like I think they're giving as much time for everyone to be like, all right, fine. When this game comes out, I
Yeah.
want it. And like by that point, everyone's gonna buy it just because they've been waiting so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And originally Final Fantasy VII Remake was supposedly going to come out in 2016, but it was going to be more episodic, like only like half the game was going to be announced in the next half, like the next year or something weird like that.
Yes,
But then
and
they
like,
decided that's a dumb idea, so it didn't come out then.
well, I mean, to be fair, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know like the original games they're only put like on separate discs, but I mean that's because the PlayStation One disc can only hold so much.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a huge game for the console.
yeah, exactly. You know, so like they try to spread it out some. So like now it doesn't make any sense because you can have these huge games. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like you
Oh
can
goodness.
have something like a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild fit in a little cartridge that big. So
Yeah. You know, it's just like, how did all this game fit in itty bitty little, like, it makes no sense, but you know, I don't ask questions anymore. I just say, okay, I'll keep playing.
like I guess they figured at the like when they announced it would be episodic, I guess they thought it'd be better to get something Final Fantasy VII out as soon as possible. But at the
Mm,
same time, they wouldn't really be, releasing Final Fantasy VII at like I understand completely why they didn't do that. That
yeah,
also I wouldn't be surprised if they had originally scheduled that if it wouldn't have been if that part they were developing wouldn't have been ready on time anyway.
yeah, exactly. Just like, oh yeah, we're actually just gonna delay all of it because we decided it was a dumb idea. It's like, how do we know the game just isn't ready? It's like, what? No, what? Come on, guys. Like, well, let's see the game. What? Come on, you
It's
can wait.
coming.
What?
Just trust us.
Oh,
When
I
have we
feel
ever
like
stored you wrong?
oh my God. I feel like Square is like that really like that kid who knows he's smart, but
Yeah.
he procrastinates to literally like
Mhm.
10 minutes before the project's due to
Yeah.
get started. It's just like,
like
oh
every
no.
teacher's like hovering around him like, we know you can do better. We know you're smart. Just try a
Yeah.
little bit, please.
That's what I'm saying. You make such good work. Just come on, just do it. You're like, I don't wanna. You're like, no.
It's
You're
not about what you want,
capable
it's what we need.
of you think this is about you? This is about us. Don't make this about you. Oh my goodness.
One, I think it was like a actual Square Enix developer kind of joked that um he confirmed that Final Fantasy VII remake would come out before 2023.
I would hope so. But then again, that's something at least. I
It'll be like
mean,
PS5 at that point.
yeah, I probably. But like, I mean, honestly, okay. Like, honestly, I'm not like totally like discarding that. Like, I guess that's kind of something because you never know with these
Yeah.
games. Like, it could be like, yeah, at least it's somewhat coming up. But then again, who knows? I might delay that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually
Delayed into
2025, guys.
2024.
Yeah, you know, like really. Oh.
Because this game has at least been teased ever since like E3 2006 when they unveiled the
Mm,
PS3. They unveiled it with a demo of Final Fantasy VII in HD. And
yeah.
people were like clamoring for it ever since then. And they're like, oh, we're thinking about it. 10 years later, they announce it, only to come out 10 years after that. Like, why?
It's like, yeah, remember that kid who was excited for it? Yeah, that kid has kids now. Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
it's like,
That's every
I
Square
mean,
Enix game.
I know. It's like, yeah, I'm in elementary school waiting for this game. You know, now I'm getting my master's.
Yeah.
Like, come on, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
So probably Square Enix is gonna start with either Kingdom Hearts 3 or Final Fantasy 7 and then end with the other one.
yeah, probably
And
more than likely.
somewhere in there they're gonna talk about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which many people aren't really excited about. Have you played any of the recent Tomb Raider games?
None of the recent ones. No, I know they had a movie that came out recently,
Apparently
but it
wasn't
was
great.
yeah. I heard nothing about it as soon as it came out. That's
Yeah.
usually the sign that it flopped. So
Yeah, like there were trailers and posters and stuff on
oh yeah,
YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. And then as soon as it came out after that weekend, I didn't see a single one after that.
that's what I'm saying. That's how you know if a movie's done well. If you hear about it the day after it comes
Yeah,
out or just anyone, and you should probably see it. If
yeah.
not, wouldn't waste your money.
Like I'm still seeing Infinity War teasers like on Twitter and whatnot, saying it, touting how much money it's made. You don't see
Yeah.
that about Tomb
Oh,
Raider.
oh my God. Yeah. Like I feel like Tomb Raider didn't make Infinity War money somehow.
Nah,
Just a
nah,
guess.
nah,
But
nah, a little bit, close, but not quite there.
I mean, you went in the same direction. You didn't make negative money.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah,
Hopefully, I
Shadow
don't
of the
actually
Tomb
know,
Raider.
but
Also, I don't understand like this. It kind of seems like it's a motif nowadays just to name stuff like Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, just
yeah,
random stuff before the name of it that doesn't really mean anything. Like
yeah,
in Rise of the Tomb Raider, there was nothing about her rising. Like in Dark Knight Rises, sure, he was beaten and he rise back up. He rose back up, yeah.
mm,
But there was nothing about her rising. It wasn't a prequel or anything. And then Shadow the Tomb Raider, from what we can tell, it doesn't like. There's nothing about her dark past. There's nothing she has to do that's like even sinister, like anything that would imply shadow. So
it just kind of
it just
yeah.
kind of is named that.
I mean, like literally, like I feel like that's like half of that's just you have to change the name up. Kind of like it's like oh, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider. Like you gotta change the name
Yeah,
up a little bit for different stuff. Like I know those are different like comics and stuff, but like you gotta change the name up. But like also, I think half part of that is just like how sometimes like you remember like English class, your teacher's like, oh, what does they mean by these words? Like try to find some deeper meaning, and really it's like they just said that just to say that.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
no meaning behind. I feel like it's a case of that, really. Just
yeah.
like there's no meaning. It just wanted to make it sound cool.
Slight tangent. I hated whenever like there was a question on a test. It was like, in your opinion, what was the best meaning of what the author meant by this? I'm like, in my opinion, what did I think? Like, there's a right answer to this?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like you can get opinion questions wrong, and it's like that's basically telling me I failed a survey, and I'm just like, what? Like I don't understand.
what what is the best answer here? I'm like, I think is this. Oh, it's not? Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I should have known better. Like, I don't, yeah,
What did the
ugh.
developers mean by naming this game Shadow the Tomb Raider? I think it means that she's gonna, face her dark past, and I think, maybe she has to do something kind of shady. No, the answer was that's just something they wanted to put in front of it because it sells.
I just
I don't know.
because just saying Tomb Raider is too genuine. You have to add something to make it different.
I guess.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? Like, they're probably just gonna like. I mean, and plus, it is like the Tomb Raider game, so like maybe they're just trying to. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do. I feel like they're just trying to just add on to it just to make it sound
Yeah.
better. I don't
I
know.
mean, you
But,
gotta finish out a trilogy, so it makes sense. But
right.
just from everything I've seen from every like big gaming outlet, no one's really super hot in this game, and I want them to show us something like one of the iconic things from the original Tomb Raider were her dual pistols.
Mm.
At least like have a section in this game where she uses them. Granted, I think the developers said they want to focus more on the bow, but still, like have a little bit of fan service in there. Just a little tease at least.
Yeah, I mean, it is disappointing, especially with like I know sometimes they're like, oh, we're trying to develop the character more to a different perspective than in the past. But I mean, like that's a staple. Like
Yeah.
that's you might as well not even put her in the jungle if you're gonna do all the
Well,
like.
yeah.
But
Like apparently in the Tomb Raider movie, spoilers if you haven't seen that or care. Apparently at the very end of the first trailer, like she picks up two pistols and was like, "I'll take two." Apparently, that's at the very end of the movie.
So she doesn't even use him in the whole movie?
Apparently not.
That is really disappointing.
Like you
I feel
show that's like Amazing Spider-Man 2 crap where you show the final scene of your movie in the trailer. It's like why?
yeah. Like, why would you do that? It's so messed up.
Like it's
That
one
is true. That's like,
it's one thing to have fan service, but to just to not like utilize it in any meaningful way, just like, hey, look at this thing. You see that thing? That was a cool thing, right? No.
yeah, and like honestly, like I know like this movie is based on like mostly for the fans of the game, but like if you just do that, like that, like I know it's like, oh, it's the gun, but like anyone who hasn't played the Tomb Raider games just like, okay,
Okay.
like,
Even if you
they're
played
gonna
the
like
newer Tomb Raider games, you wouldn't understand it.
exactly like unless you played like the really old like PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
don't even, which no, most of the people, yeah, man, that's just disappointing. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Well.
they're trying to make new stuff, and they're not. I don't know. A lot of times when they try to make new stuff, they try to make it different. But then when the stuff they add that's different takes away what made it good in the first place. So,
Yeah. So hopefully Shadow of the Tomb Raider has a good showing at E3. Hopefully they change people's minds, but I don't have super high hopes. Something I do have kind of high hopes on is the Avengers game that Square Enix is apparently working on.
oh,
Like 2 or 3 years ago, there was just like a teaser announcement of like it was just like pictures of Thor's hammer and Captain America's shield and the Iron Man suit like that, and it was like Avengers project in the works. Like okay, you showed a couple of things with no real indication what this game will be, and like I get it, it's a teaser trailer in the truest form. I just really hope they actually show something of this. And I get that Square Enix, so like the chance of them actually showing something to be released soon is not likely, but like I just hope they I just want to see something like at least even if it's just if it's just a CG trailer with Avengers hype like at its peak right now. It'd be stupid for them not to at least show something from this game.
mhm. Yeah, like that's what, especially with like, I mean, obviously, Infinity War just drops, on pace to be the number one movie ever, and then
Yeah,
you got Avengers 4 coming out next year. So like, now's the time to at least be like, hey, you guys like Avengers, right? The world's like, yes. They're
yeah.
like, hey, we're making this game. They're like, all right. Like, I mean, I don't,
Okay.
yeah, they're like, sure, why not? Like, there's nothing else to play. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, and like, it's like, like, I mean, yeah, like you said, knowing Square's reputation probably won't come out till, after, who knows how long it's
Avengers
been.
6.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be at the point where it's almost going out of style, and it's like, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Do you know if it's gonna be like based on the movies or just like Avengers, like in general, or like?
I think Square Enix said it doesn't have like direct ties to the movie, but it's more or less based on like the art style of the movies.
Okay, okay, that'll work. Yeah, I mean that's smart. They're trying to make you gotta make profit off of it. Like I'm glad it's not like a like how they used to have like movie games, like
Yeah,
especially like Spider-Man stuff like that. Like
yeah.
those I feel like never really were that good with the few
Except for
exceptions.
Spider-Man
But
2 game. That was
that
good.
yeah, I mean, that's one of the exceptions I was thinking. Gosh, that
Yeah.
was so good.
Yeah, like I
I
was
still
thinking kind of recently, like I'm surprised there hasn't been any Marvel games. There was an Iron Man and a Thor game that were both crap. There was a
yeah.
Captain America, or the first Avenger game, which had like it was basically a ripoff of the Arkham games, just
hmm
not as good. So I think since then there hasn't really been any Avengers or Marvel games, which is really weird considering like until a couple of years ago people would like rush out these movie tie-in games considering Avengers was
hmm
one of the biggest movies ever. I'm surprised no one tried to jump on that.
Yeah, I think they kind of realized that like, well, one, the past movies they put out, I mean, not movies, but the past games based on movies they put out,
Yeah.
so like, I guess they're like, you know what, let's not, like, we're doing great. It's not like we need the money anyway. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
they're dominating the movie scene, so like, why focus on games as much if you don't need to?
yeah, I guess. So yeah, hopefully this Avengers game will actually be good. I'm hoping it's like a third person beat 'em up style game. Um, with
Hmm.
like light shooting and adventure mechanics. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, especially if you have to go like like Ultron and stuff like that, and you just like
Mhm.
take your Avengers, take out a bunch of robots and jump. That'd
Yeah,
be pretty awesome.
something that would be cool is like essentially you can like pick and choose which Avengers go to fight certain enemies.
Hmm.
Like let's say,
Yeah.
like I said, Ultron is over in New York doing something, while at the same time Loki is somewhere else doing something. Like you can send like one set of Avengers over here, another set over here to deal with that problem. Like
Hmm.
essentially, you play as Nick. Essentially, in like those settings, you play as Nick Fury and you tell which Avengers where to go, and then you can
Hmm.
like, and then the actual gameplay, you go to that area with the Avengers you pick to fight that enemy, and then you can also like go to the other place. Like I just there's a lot of options they could go here. I just hope they utilize the Avengers to their fullest.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, Square does make really good games, so like I think that'll be fine.
Mm,
But like, yeah, I mean, as far as the timetable, I mean, who knows? It might not. I mean, at this point, it might not even come out. We don't even
yeah,
know. But like, I mean,
true.
but yeah, I mean, it make a lot of sense. Obviously, Marvel Avengers are skyrocketing in terms of value. So yeah, go ahead and jump on that train. You might as well.
Yeah. So I guess the next question is: do you think Final Fantasy 16 will be announced this year?
I'm gonna say no. And
Yeah.
my reasoning behind that is just because so much other stuff, like like we talked about, like everyone's anticipated Kingdom Hearts 3 is
Mm-hmm.
also Final Fantasy 7 remake. Like that's gonna be a big part.
Yeah.
Square's fans, like Square has they listen to their fans. They just tease them a lot.
Yeah.
So like it's like okay, you want this, we'll get it to you. It's just you're gonna have to wait for it.
Mm.
So like I think it's definitely gonna happen. Just like it's probably gonna be next year though. Probably not this
Year
year.
two. Yeah. I can
Yeah.
see them doing like Final Fantasy 15 DLC or maybe even like a 15-2 if they want to go back to that style, but like
Yeah.
not 16 anytime soon.
No, I feel yeah. They're still. I mean, they're still kind of yeah. I feel like they can still kind of work off 15 a little bit, especially with
Mm.
everything else going on. Just add a little, well, just a little something else just to keep the
Yeah.
ball rolling. But yeah, we're not no huge project this year. I don't think.
Yeah,
16.
because they recently released the complete 15 to PCs and consoles.
Hmm.
So they still have stuff to work off with that game. So
Exactly.
I don't see a need for them to rush into the next Final Fantasy proper game yet. Maybe a spinoff or something, but not like
Yeah.
16.
No, like not. I mean, that's gonna be like big stuff. They're gonna like yeah, one groundbreaking game at a time.
Yeah. Plus, even if they do announce it now, we're not going to get it for 2025 anyway, so there's no point.
True. Like, oh man, I gotta start saving up. Wait, no, I don't. It's not coming out anytime soon.
Okay, so I think that about wraps it up for the Square Enix talk. Um, Now it's time to move on to Walmart of Canada. I, I can't even say they leaked it because, according to them, this list of games that they accidentally put on their website was just speculative, and they were put up by accident.
Hmm.
Which the this list of games here, how could that be speculative if one of them has already been announced? Like,
Right.
we'll get to it, but one of these games has already been announced, so clearly Walmart knows something.
That's what I'm saying.
um, so and there was like a pretty big list. I just picked the ones that like we didn't already know about. And none of these games are like ones that we really care about, but like they're still interesting, might be interesting to talk about. Um, so the first one is Just Cause 4. You play any of the Just Cause games?
I'm not. No.
Okay. Well, they're like open world, basically like you can destroy anything. uh, just open world action game. Really, like
Mhm.
apparently Just Cause 2 was really good. Just Cause 3 was fine, but it wasn't like as good as 2. So Just Cause 4 being leaked.
Like
Cool.
hopefully they get it right.
Yeah. Gears of War 5, which
Okay.
Gears of War 4 apparently also wasn't very good. Um, so I have a
Yeah, I heard that
feeling,
was a bit of a miss.
yeah, I have a feeling that like this Xbox is gonna try to make Gears of War 5 like the big game of that E3 outside of the newest Forza game. There's always a Forza game, but I just really hope they do something different with this game because Gears of War 4, it involved Marcus Phoenix's son and like a new band of people basically just
Mhm.
doing the same things that they did in the other Gears of War games. So hopefully like in the trailer we see there is something different about this.
Yeah, add something more than just, oh, new characters, same old, same old. Like,
Yeah.
it's not terrible, but it's just kind of like I was expecting,
Yeah.
differences. But
Yeah. Maybe like a new planet to actually
yeah,
fend off or new
yeah.
enemy types like um maybe you actually fight. I think they're the horde. I could be wrong about that, but like you fight the main enemy throughout half the game, but then like after a point, like those enemies just get wiped out with some new alien race or something. Like there are options you could
Oh,
go, but I'm not really sure if they're actually gonna do it because Gears of War 4 played it very safe, and I fear they would play it safe with 5 too.
really? Well, maybe they realize, hey, four, we tried, we didn't reach very high and didn't get much result. Maybe they try to swing for the fences with five. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully. Um, a new Splinter Cell game. You played any of those?
Mm.
Yeah.
I've actually, yeah, I've played a little bit. Like, I never had one myself, but I had friends who had them, so like, I played a little bit of that.
Okay. And this is a game that's been rumored for a while now. And the main character of that game, who I can't think of his name right now, is actually you can essentially play as him in the recent Ghost Recon Wildlands. So having him in that game made a lot of people speculate, oh, they're basically getting us ready for a new Splinter Cell game, which could be
Right.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those games, it's like, yes, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Like kind of like, okay. Like no one's like, but like, it's like, well, I mean, there's probably somebody
Yeah.
freaking out
Like
about
it's
it, but like,
exciting, but it's not like world breaking.
yeah, it's like the internet's not, freaking out. Like it's just like, oh, solid, cool, I
Yeah.
want this. Like, eh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, we'll see what that does.
Hmm. Um, a new Assassin's Creed game, which I'm actually I would actually be kind of surprised if this were a thing because Assassin's Creed Origins worked so well because they took a year off.
Mm,
They spent 2 years developing. Well, they spent an extra year developing that game as opposed to having a yearly release since that clearly didn't
mm,
work with Unity and Syndicate and Rogue and like all these
mm,
games right in a row. People started to get fatigued and the games quality themselves dipped. And considering Origins did really well, I would be surprised. I guess I would be surprised, but not. I guess surprised isn't the right word, but like, I guess for their sake, I would want them to continue taking a year off every time. But like,
yeah.
if they have a new game ready, whatever. But like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems they make better games the more time they take on. I mean, that's generally how it works with everything. So, like,
Yeah.
I'd rather you take your time and make it good than
Mm,
just kind of throw them out there to keep people playing a new game, you
yeah.
know?
I just don't want Ubisoft to think, hey, because so many people loved Origins, that means Assassin's Creed is back and we can keep doing the same things. When it should instead teach you, hey, we make better games when we take a year off. Like
Right. Yeah.
so
Like, if that's,
yeah, go on.
yeah, go ahead.
Yep, go.
I was gonna say, yeah, like he's like Assassin's Creed's like back. I'm like, I don't know, that movie didn't seem very
Oh. Oh no.
right, right.
Oh.
Right? Like I know gaming movies are notoriously bad, but man,
We're
that
talking
one did
about one
not
of
do.
them, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like it's just it just I don't know what it is. It just doesn't work
Yeah.
generally. Like it's just
Yeah. Like that movie in particular, it has like the Jason Bourne effect, but like
yeah,
and like an even more extreme where every single action scene is shot from like six different angles and it's just so jarring and like you can't tell what's going on, like shaky
yeah,
cam everywhere, like cut, like literally I saw one sequence. It was just the main character jumping like off a wagon and stabbing someone. It would have been so easy to do that in one take, just jump, or even like two cuts, the jump
yeah.
and then stab.
Right.
It was jump cut to like another angle of him jumping, cut to another angle of him falling, cut to an angle of him stabbing, cut to an angle of him getting up. Like, why did you need to have so many cuts there?
Like this was a two-step process you made into 47 steps. Why did you do that?
Or this
Yeah.
one train sequence, or it wasn't train, but it was like a convoy. Like these two assassins were going after this convoy. You're trying to follow two separate characters, but because every single thing they do is cut 16 different ways, like you can't tell
Mhm.
where everyone is, and you can't tell like did the main character just get knocked off or was that someone else, like who, like oh it was a jumbled mess.
So, yeah, you're just like, dude, am I with this character still? Or are we already like? And that's the thing when you have those massive cuts. It's just like it's to the point where you don't know what's going on, and
Yeah,
you're just like, and it just you just get mad. You're like, this would probably be a really cool scene if I actually could understand like what's going on,
yeah,
but it's fine.
that's why I love one shot tracking shots like in the Kingdom
Mhm.
movies, like those, like you can tell like it's chaotic but you're following one character throughout the entire thing, you can tell
Right.
what he's doing at every step. Just, and that's one thing I feel like Marvel movies do really well. They you know, you follow the action really well. That's some the Transformers movies, Jason Bourne to an extent, Taken, clearly Assassin's Creed. They just don't know really how to like do action scenes well, and it's really confusing why so many people try this and it's failed every time.
Yeah, it's just with scenes that you need to see more,
Mm-hmm.
the less cuts, the better. I mean, that's just usually how it is. Because like when you have like a long, just like just a long tracking shot, you see everything you need to see.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you didn't need to see wasn't in the shot
Yeah,
because that's not pertaining to this character right now. It's
yeah.
fine. Like I love it when like you'll see a scene where like someone you're tracking someone with a scene and then all of a sudden the character like gets shot or something. You're like, where did that come from? You're like you're almost surprised as the person that got shot because you don't see it because you're not. It's in
Mm-hmm.
the tracking shot, so it kind of adds like you're really there.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of funny that the year Ubisoft took off for making Assassin's Creed game, we got that trash movie,
It's
which I
probably why it
guess,
took the area off.
which I guess made Origins being as good as it was even better because like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that movie was trash, but at least this game is good. So I guess it had that going for it.
I don't know, you could honestly argue that like the movie being trash can make people want the game more because it's
Yeah.
like this can only work in games, and they're like,
Yes.
oh, here's an Assassin's Creed game, yeah,
Cool.
like yeah.
Yeah. So if they actually do announce this a new Assassin's Creed game, I hope it's actually good. I hope it looks innovative. Maybe if they just want to keep going with the Egypt stuff, I wouldn't necessarily be upset at that. It seemed to
Mhm.
work last time. So
Yeah, I mean they usually change it up like vastly, so maybe
mm-hmm.
it'll be something totally different. Maybe we'll be like, who knows, like the Mongolian, like who knows, like,
Yeah,
but like, yeah, sure, like why not,
feudal Japan. They need to do feudal Japan.
That is a good suggestion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
one time they Ubisoft was interviewed and like they said, "Oh, we can't do feudal Japan. Assassins are nothing like ninjas. It wouldn't work." You just did you just say that? Did you just say that assassins and ninjas are not the same thing?
it's like, sir,
Right?
sir. I mean, I see that's what I'm like I understand like assassins and ninjas may have like different like
Connotations, I guess.
yeah, but like it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Like especially like low key assassins, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's pretty much the because like when I think assassin, I think Assassin's Creed, and I think League of Assassins, and like arguably both of those are ninjas. So
Yeah,
like,
arguably.
yeah, so like it's like okay, yeah, I mean, there's also like Hitman and stuff like that, but I feel like that's more of a different kind of thing. But like,
Hmm.
yeah, no, it's you could definitely make those the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Even if you wanted to have the Assassin's Creed, uh, whatever the organization is called, even if you wanted to have the assassins be samurais, no one would be upset at that. Samurais are awesome.
no, yeah, like and like in the varying of fighting stuff, because like Assassin's Creed's a lot of fast, quick movement. Samurai are very structured, like very
Hmm.
slight, like very precise with their slices, and like
Yeah.
so I feel like that would be really good contrast.
Hmm. Just changing up the gameplay would not necessarily be the worst thing at this point, especially if you are
No,
having a new game like 1 year after your last big hit. I feel having a little bit of a change wouldn't be the worst thing to go for.
yeah, just like try to change. Don't completely abandon the combat style because it's really good, but
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like add different kind of like kind of do kind of like what the Batman games did. Keep the same like dynamics for your person, but like change up the adversaries.
Mm.
That's really it's like a new challenge.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so next up is what is probably the most exciting game on this list: Lego DC Villains.
Hmm.
Because Lego games are legit.
Yeah,
Like,
no Lego. Yeah, the Lego. I mean, I never got into like actual real Legos, but
no,
Like let me tell you, I have put many hours of my life in Lego Star Wars
Lego Star
games.
Wars, Lego Batman, Lego Indiana
Oh
Jones, they're
my
all
goodness.
great.
Oh dude, it's pretty bad. Like I still remember many levels I had so much trouble with. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm like, uh, yeah, Lego games. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I'm excited. I actually, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna get this game just because like, do I really get a Legos game? But then again, it's like then I see it and I'm like, oh, it's right there.
Yeah. Like, just the idea of playing as the villains, playing as Joker, Lex Luthor, maybe
Yeah.
even Darkseid or Brainiac.
Mhm.
Like, just having all these options of these great DC villains just do like messing up the city. Basically, what I want the Venom movie to be, but in a game form.
Yeah,
Just just that sounds so exciting on paper.
I know. Like it, and like it's gonna have like the Lego environment too. So that's almost gonna just I don't know. It just like adds to all kind of like I don't know why. But for some reason, like Legos, it's like a silly, but it's also kind of like just it's just fun. Like
Yeah.
just messing stuff up. You don't
Oh
feel
yeah.
like I'm so evil. I'm an evil Lego. I just knocked that person to pieces.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
I
because
don't
like
know.
even in Lego City Undercover, where you're playing as a cop, like it's still just fun to run over people. Like you don't
Right,
feel bad because they're
exactly.
Legos.
Just because, like like it's oh yeah. I mean, just imagine being like Lego Doomsday or something, just like
Oh
throwing a car across the
yes, like the point
building.
of that level is to just do as much damage as possible,
Yeah.
and like you go until you do a certain amount of damage, and then Superman shows up, and then you beat him to a pulp.
Yeah, so beat Superman to little pieces.
Yes, yes,
It's like, all right, good job.
yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of
And then
fun.
there could even be like a Suicide Squad type level where you're playing as
Yeah,
Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and all them, and like you invade like a bank heist or like you invade Arkham
yeah. You have
Asylum or
to
something.
cycle. Yeah, you gotta like cycle through characters, use their abilities, like use Deadshot to shoot that and that.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah,
there are a lot of
kill a
possibilities
crowd.
here.
I
So
did something.
yes, yes.
uh,
Oh yeah, Lego DC
yeah,
Villains.
that'd
Like
be.
I wasn't joking when I said I'm actually excited for that game.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I'm not like it's not on my calendar or anything, but I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I could use a Lego game in my life.
yeah.
Life's getting too real at this moment. uh,
So the last noteworthy game I have on this list is the game I mentioned that's actually already been announced. It was announced after this leak came out. That's Rage 2.
mm,
Now the original Rage game was like a post-apocalyptic like Mad Max style game, and
right.
Rage 2 seems to be very much like that. First person, of course, because it's Bethesda. Um, And Bethesda, like none of the other publishers of any of these games, like really said anything about this leak, but Bethesda like flipped out when this leak was announced. Um, like they retweeted. They were like, the font is all wrong. And like just cherry picked every little thing, like nitpicked
It's
it to
like,
shreds.
bad. You
It's
need a
like,
comma. Like,
yeah.
fight them.
And like they were clearly upset. And then like as soon as it's like, oh, if we were to announce Rage 2, we'd announce it like this. And like they like showed like a box art with like they showed like part of a box art with like May 14th next to it. So so like they probably were gonna wait till E3, but now they're like
I
it's already
mean,
out there. We might as well go ahead and just announce
that's
it.
what I'm
So
saying. Like everyone knows it's not going to be the same. I mean, you might as well just go. Like, it's like it's like like you're trying to make a surprise, and like someone like calls you out, and you're like, well, I can't. I mean, I don't make
yeah,
a dramatic entrance. So I just gotta go up there.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Or
but I
like
mean,
if your kid finds their like you're hiding your child's present and they find it, you can't just say
yeah,
no. Wait till Christmas. Like no, you might as well give it to them then.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, it depends on them. Depends on how early before Christmas. If it's
True.
like December 16th, I'm not gonna let you open your present. No. Then again, now who am I kidding? I don't buy presents that early. I don't
Yeah.
know how that problem.
I make mine on December 24th.
Same. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Uh,
so considering that Rage 2 was actually announced, yet no, yet Walmart is still sticking by this list being speculative. One of the games was already announced, so it's clearly a real list.
yeah.
At least one of these things is real. How like I think the first Rage was released in like 2011, 2012. No
Something like
one
that.
was even considering the idea of a sequel to that game. If not for like a new Splinter Cell, sure, Assassin's Creed, understandable.
Yeah,
Even Lego DC villains, like I could see that
sure.
being a speculative idea, but Rage, what?
I mean, if at first you don't succeed,
like,
like,
I guess it's like every single time there's any kind of Nintendo presentation, like everyone was like, Smash is gonna be announced this time. They got super disappointed when they didn't. But like every single time, and then Smash was finally announced. So like, yeah, Smash was announced. Like, I guess if you're always expecting it, it's you're gonna get it eventually.
eventually, I don't know. Yeah, I was like, like finally it's my turn. I guess as long as it's within a couple years. If it gets to like 10 years and it still
Yeah,
hasn't, I'm just like, you know what? I give up.
yeah.
Just crush their
This is
hopes.
like 6, 7 years. So Walmart's still sticking by this list being speculative. Yet one of these games is already announced. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that most, if not
Yeah,
all, of these games are actually coming this year
yeah.
at
I
E3.
mean, it's legit because, like, first of all, if it wasn't legit, Walmart wouldn't be like. Honestly, they probably wouldn't like react to it. Really, I don't think.
Yeah,
Like that's what I'm saying. Like if it was just made, up, like like if it's just like, oh, dude, these are made up. Like they're just like, that ain't real.
yeah.
They're just like whatever. But no, they're like, hey, let's not look at that. What?
It's
That
just
can't
speculative
be.
list. It was an
Yeah,
accident. We put it up. Like
yeah. It's like
it's an
that's not
accident
important
that
to
is
me.
speculative. Like how does that make sense?
It's like this isn't important. Now give it back. Like
Yeah,
like it's like something doesn't add up here.
yeah,
But because like the same thing with like any kind of leaks or anything. Like you can tell if they're like legit or not based on how the company reacts. So like
yeah. Yeah,
that's
which is why I really appreciate Nintendo just never reacting to any leak because sometimes they're real, sometimes they're not, but they just ignore them
right.
entirely. So like this Lee's fan just going crazy about
Yeah.
leaks.
Yeah, it's essentially a poker face. They're just watching as their fans go in bedlam, and they're just like, "Yeah, it's like, is that even real?" like, why don't you tell them that? It's fun watching them go crazy. Like, they're
Yeah, it's
beating each
fun.
other on the head. It's finally time. It's not really. Oh,
Yeah.
just watching us dance.
Speaking of Nintendo leaks, over the past couple of
Mhm.
days, there's actually been some kind of interesting ones. So on Monday, it was leaked that Retro Studios, the people behind the Metroid Prime games and the recent Donkey Kong Country games, they're apparently developing a new Star Fox game. But it's not a Star
Mm.
Fox game in the way many people think. It's apparently going to
Oh.
be a Star Fox racing game. with
Why?
with a story mode with some like shooting mechanics. So it's more or less apparently going to be like a Star Fox style game, but also be a also be a racing game. Yeah.
Is it ships or is it cars?
We don't know. We just the only thing we know about it is the information we have is that it'll be a racing game. It's apparently going to be called Star Fox Grand Prix, and it'll have a story mode um, with light shooting mechanics. So I would assume it would actually be like ships. Maybe even you roll around as the landmaster. Like you'll have different models of the
Mm.
R wing. So I it could work. I don't see it as like a bad idea. I'll have to see it first.
Yeah, probably. I mean, honestly, like, I don't think it's a terrible idea, but I'm like, if you're gonna make a Star Fox game, why not just, make a Star Fox
Yeah,
game? But.
yeah. Especially since every single Star Fox game we've gotten really has been just a remake of the original game on SNES,
Yeah,
like SNES, and then N64. Oh, it's a reimagining of the last game we made. Star Fox Assault was different. It had ground combat, but many people didn't like that game. Star Fox
right.
Command was on the DS, so it had motion control or not motion like touch controls. Many people didn't
Hmm.
like that one. And then Star Fox Zero on the Wii U was just a reimagining of the N64 version, which was the reimagining of the SNES one. So like we haven't really gone forward any since like 2003 when Assault came out.
I
So
mean, yeah.
so like having so bringing Star Fox into like a new genre isn't the worst idea, especially if you are keeping the shooting mechanics. The main problem many people have with this is that it's a futuristic racer that's not an F-Zero game. So so many people are like, why are they making this game when everyone wants an F-Zero game when it's possible we're getting both? Um,
Yeah, sure.
and also considering it's actually canon that Star Fox and Captain Falcon exist in the same universe.
Hmm.
Um, like maybe Captain Falcon or other F-Zero characters could actually show up in this game, so you get the best of both worlds.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, yeah, I mean, because why not? Because, like, I mean, like basically games these days are all about mashups. Like, there's every solid franchise has players that like, whoa, you don't belong here. So
Mm,
yeah, I mean that would make the most sense, kind of like a yeah, oh look at that. Captain Falcon joins the party. Like,
yeah,
just like might as well. Like that would definitely get more people excited. So I think they
yeah,
should, but
yeah. Like I said, I'll have to see it first, but right now I'm on the side of like it could be cool, and like most of the internet where there's freaking out for no reason, even though they haven't seen it and it's not even like hasn't even been confirmed real or not yet. Which
yeah. But I mean that's what people do. They speculate and freak. It's just what people do. It's
mm,
beautiful.
yeah, something that I'm not necessarily okay with is well, I'm okay with some of what's said in this leak. Other parts, not so much. Apparently, um, this leak rumor thing came out that the next Pokemon game will be called Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Edition and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Edition. It'll be a remake of Pokemon Yellow. You'll be brand new characters with like brand new scenarios, brand new story. So it'll basically be a Yellow remake in the way that it's just you're in Kanto again, and it'll
Yeah.
be focused around Pikachu and Eevee again. And like all of that sounds really good. Like that's
Yeah.
my ideal Pokemon game. Going back to Kanto, like I'm not a Gen 1 or anything, but like but like we haven't been there since
It's
20
been some time. Give me
yeah,
one. Give me one
2010
sec.
in Heart Gold Soul Silver. We haven't had
Yeah.
I'll be good. Say, I'm okay.
Sorry,
You're
but
fine.
yeah, I mean, that does. I mean, like honestly, like that does sound really good because it has been a while, and it's like back to the good old days of Pokemon. You got these 30-year-olds just like
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Plus we plus
but
Red and Blue Remix came out in like 2003 or 4 on the Game Boy, and Pokemon has evolved a lot since then. So a lot of mechanics, a lot of online functionality, just so much stuff has changed since the Game Boy day or Game Boy
Mhm.
Advance days. It would make sense for them to, update the first gen into the newest generations.
Right.
The only real issue I have with this leak is apparently it's gonna have a lot of integration with Pokemon Go, which on paper doesn't actually sound half bad. Um,
But
Granted, Game Freak didn't have any involvement in Pokemon Go. That was all Pokemon Company and Niantic. So it wouldn't really make sense for the game developed by Game Freak to have integration with the game they didn't have any involvement in. And also, many people just don't really play Pokemon Go anymore. Like it's still being played,
no,
but it's not like
it's
it's not really like
it's
in people's minds
yeah, it's
anymore.
gone way down. Yeah, no, it's gone way downhill since like 2016, where everyone and their dog had Pokemon
Yeah,
Go.
literally.
Like it was, yeah, like, it was bad.
Yeah. Um, and I guess the main issue I have with that in particular, there's one other thing I'm going to talk about in a second, but the main issue I have in particular with it having Pokemon Go integration, according to this rumor, is that it's called Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Edition.
Yeah.
Let's Go has integration with Pokemon Go. That just sounds so lazy and so on the nose. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely gonna be some mix of like, the first gen games as well as Pokemon Go, which I mean, it does make sense, like you were saying, because like I mean, both were success in their different ways. So
Yeah.
like maybe yeah, we combine to make a great idea, but at the same time, I'm skeptical because like I
Yeah.
don't know, it might. I hope it doesn't run out of gas as fast as Pokemon Go did
Yeah.
because I mean, it was huge, and then
Yeah, like I said, it's still being played, but not nearly as much as it was. And just, I really hope they don't name it after the small Pokemon Go integration. I hope that's not like the main gimmick of this game. That will be
dude,
disappointing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that would be, yeah, that would. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, honestly, like if they just make it like just make it like Pokemon Yellow and just kind of like obviously, build off of the technology we have now versus back in, what, like however long ago that
98,
was.
eight
Yeah,
or
something like,
nine. Yeah,
oh my gosh, that game's so old.
yeah.
But that made me feel like a
It
tombstone
was
right
that
there.
Pokemon Yellow was the last OG Game Boy game released.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's almost 20 years. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy. Like
yeah.
where's my life?
I don't know.
But like, oh man. Like
And
I might even I think I have that game in this room.
I
Actually,
have
no, I
Yellow
don't.
somewhere. The battery ran dead, so I can't actually play it.
Mhm.
But like I still have it.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, like, like just add, I don't know. I just like when they like add the, take all the technology and updates we have now and just take the old games, like, here you go, power boost. Like, I mean, it
Yeah.
makes sense that they're incorporating Pokemon Go, but I just hope it's not more Pokemon Go than Pokemon Yellow. But we'll
Which
see.
that's actually a nice segue because the last major thing about this rumor, which makes me believe it's not actually real, is according to this rumor, the catching mechanics would be similar to Pokemon Go,
No
which
way.
would be a major disappointment for everyone.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that thing was so janky. I don't know about you, but I was terrible at catching Pokemon. I was so bad. Like it
Yeah.
was ridiculous. Like I'd be the one. I was like, oh, perfect, and then it just pops out and goes. I was just like, what? Like, I don't
I got a great
like,
with a great ball and it didn't get in. Okay,
yeah,
whatever. It's fine.
like yeah, it
It's
was like
fine.
a Master Ball too. Like Master Ball, great. I'm just like, what kind? Like, granted, it's a like it's rare stuff, but like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah,
oh.
like
Yeah, the catching was so janky. I mean, I feel like that would take a lot away from the game because
yeah.
like it just you wouldn't be able because like in the original games you didn't have to throw it a certain way. It just kind of
Mhm.
happened. But
And how
uh,
would you grind? How would you train up your Pokemon outside of just battling trainers over and over again.
Yeah, it would get really repetitive.
Yeah, and I said in a recent video, link in the card or somewhere, I don't know, that essentially the main reason I'd be upset at this is because essentially the first Rattata or Pidgey or yeah Pidgey you fight in Pokemon Yellow, that's essentially like your first real challenge after your arrival. Like that's your
Mm.
first step in your journey. If your first step in the journey is not you send out your Pikachu, use Thunder Shock, and beat the Pidgey in one hit, making you feel confident for the rest of your journey. Instead, you go, a Pidgey attacks you, you swipe up on your Switch screen to catch it. It catches, yay! I feel like that would just take away from the experience.
Yeah, I didn't really do anything. It's more like a Pokemon catching game than actual like grinding and developing. And
Yeah, it
that's
wouldn't
I mean
like
that's the thing you love about Pokemon.
yeah, it would just take away from the experience as a whole. I don't know why they would do such a drastic change, especially since Pokemon Go isn't as popular as it used to be. And
Hmm.
also something really funny is that Pokemon Go's mechanics work very similar to the Safari Zone in the original generations.
Hmm.
So it's very possible if this rumor is true, if this rumor is true in its entirety, that the leaker just so happened to see gameplay of the Safari Zone and assume the entire game worked like that.
Uh, that would
That'd be
I'd be
fun. That'd be
really
hilarious.
I'd be relieved, but like, man, like yeah, because that has happened before. You're like, oh man, you see this one part, and it's like whole game's gonna be
Yeah.
like this. Like that's literally just like 5% of the
Uh,
game, but it's fine.
yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
so everything outside, even the just generic Pokemon Go integration, I don't really have a problem with outside of the name being stupid. But everything outside of that, the yellow remake, new characters, potentially even new Pokemon involved. Everything about that sounds fine. Just changing up the fundamental mechanics of how you play it, no one's gonna appreciate that. I-
because I
No.
mean, if you're gonna change up the like the mechanics and like everything the game's based on, why even call it Pokemon Yellow? Just make it a new game, like.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna you're gonna tarnish the old one's reputation
Hmm.
almost, like don't be
Yeah.
that guy. Like
I don't know. Like if you are gonna change the mechanics, I would be fine with like more real time strategy, like action, like Final Fantasy 15 style battles.
mhm.
It would ruin it on a competitive level, but it would still switch it up in a unique way that wouldn't be just it wouldn't just be
Yeah,
that.
we wouldn't just poop on the game. It'd still be enjoying and like enjoyment and like, a good way to go. But
Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully that part isn't real or that's not the majority of the game and hopefully the name isn't that bad. But outside of that, I'm excited if this is true, which I mean Nintendo, like I said, hasn't said anything about either of those leaks, neither the Star
they
Fox or the
won't.
Pokemon one. So it's very possible none of this is real.
Or they're just not saying anything because they just have, Nintendo just has that poker face where they just like, this is true.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe not. I don't know. Not
Like,
gonna. You'll find out. You'll find out all of it on June 12th. Like, okay, okay.
it's like, say nothing if this is true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do I,
How do I answer
yeah.
that?
How do I answer that? Like, if I say something, then I'm not. But if I don't say something, but if I say this is false, then
Wait.
But if I say it's true, broke the game.
Okay. So yeah, that's it for today's segment of Road to E3 stuff. Now moving
Woo!
into what Disney is up to now.
But
So, you know how we've been talking for the past couple of months that Disney bought 21st Century Fox?
mm-hmm.
So, apparently, Comcast, the trash company that they are, literally the worst company in America, apparently They are trying to outbid Disney with a $60 million all cash bid.
That's cute. Really?
$60 billion all cash.
You say billion or million?
I said million first because I wrote it down million, but it's actually billion.
Okay, okay, yeah, I heard 60 million. I was like, that's cute. Like, we'll see if that goes anywhere.
And
60 billion all cash?
yes,
No, that's
that's
some money.
upsetting because
That's,
the way business works is
no.
that if you if you present an offer with credit or like with assets and whatnot, anyone who offers anything that or more with cash, dollar bills,
Yeah, priority.
gets precedent over you. So unless
Right.
Disney can like up the ante to 60 plus billion in credit and assets, Comcast could very easily, get it unless Disney negotiates specifically with Comcast to be like, hey, how about we negotiate so that we at least get the rights to the X-Men and Fantastic Four?
Yeah, like, okay. My thing, okay, I thought this. Mm, See, because like for all we know, I feel like they're gonna at least make a counter offer
Yeah.
because like I mean at this point you know like how ahead Disney is, especially with Marvel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're more than likely already have something set up with the characters they
Yeah.
recently acquired, so they can't just be like, oh, we can't just scrap all our ideas. That was cool. So I mean, they've definitely got a counter offer.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how much more they will. Maybe just put out a big offer just to like shut Comcast up. But like I don't know. Like.
And also,
Mhm.
apparently, Comcast is only willing to do this if I can't remember if it's Time Warner or AT&T, but like apparently they're merging with one of those two. If that merger goes through, then they're willing to do this. But if not, then they won't have the assets to do that.
Mhm.
I, I'm just worried because Disney was originally willing to offer 50 billion for
Right.
21st Century Fox, and I don't know if it's worth it for them to go up 10 more billion just to try to counteroffer. I'm not sure how much Fox is worth to them.
But it should be because, please.
Like, why does Comcast even need Fox?
I know. They
Disney
just
has a
want.
vested interest in completing the set when it comes to Marvel
That's
characters.
what I'm saying. They actually have a reason to do
Yeah.
this, and Comcast is like, I want to be relevant. We're like,
No one likes you,
no.
Comcast. Everyone hates you.
Literally, no one wants you here. Why are you even still here? Like, go home. Like, oh my god. But like, oh, this is not good. I have dreams that need to be
No.
finished.
Yeah.
Not good.
I, I had the idea that at the end of Infinity War, X-Men characters would come out. Would if it ended a different way, of course, X-Men characters would start kind of popping up after that. But apparently, they don't even really own the X-Men yet, so
Right.
I don't know what's going on. Like we've all had it in our head that Disney already owned Fox.
Right. Like
Like
I mean
we've known
I
that for
mean I
6 months, but
that's
apparently
what I'm
not.
saying. Like I thought that was a done deal, you know. It's like, all right, it's happening, we're all set. I mean, they probably thought so too. They probably already, have schedulings and stuff and like, oh yeah, I can't wait till this marketing comes out that we can have these characters, we can put
Mm-hmm.
their Disney World line here, we can put this level in Kingdom Hearts Sport. Like
Mm-hmm.
like who
Yeah.
knows, man? Like and then it's just like, nope, we're just gonna try to poop on your parade. I mean, my thing is obviously Disney has the money to outbid them,
Yeah.
but like I feel like they're just gonna be like,
Cost.
it's like when the rich person, when like that one person tries to like get something with the rich person, he's like, I have everything else, it's fine. But
Yeah.
like, no, be greedy.
Like how much I feel like Comcast is would be spending $600 billion just out of spite. Like it would probably put them near to in the hole at that point.
That's what I'm saying. They don't. I mean, I feel like they're doing it just to like do it. Like
Yeah.
they don't even need it. Because like, I mean, if they make this big purchase and it falls through, they're gone. Not that they were gonna stay alive much longer anyway, but I mean, they're gone.
Yeah.
But
And and if Comcast wants to do this for a PR stunt, this is not the way to do it because no one already likes you. People were glad that Disney is getting the X-Men and Fantastic Four back with this Fox deal. And now you're taking that away from everyone, so they're going to like you even less. So why are you doing this?
I'm saying, maybe is there like a I mean, maybe there's like something specific within these rights that they want. Like maybe it's not. I don't know. It's like
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they just want Fox Sports. Like who knows?
Maybe because Disney actually can't. In this deal, they're not getting they're not getting Fox Sports or Fox News because they legally can't own more than 2 of those networks. So, so I guess Comcast doesn't have a news or, do they? No, they own NBC, I think. So they actually they can't.
So can they legally do this one?
I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I know Disney is only buying 21st Century Fox, which mainly focuses on movies and TV shows, not Fox as a whole. Like many people are trying to make it out.
Yeah, just like the entertainment stuff. No, like yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess if Comcast bought 21st Century Fox, like Disney is trying to do, then that wouldn't be a conflict of interest. But like, I don't. This is just upsetting. Like. Granted, on paper, Disney isn't necessarily like a whole lot better on a corporate level than Comcast is, but still, they at least have a better mind share than Comcast does. Comcast is viewed as nothing but a trash corporation that wants nothing but your money. Disney at least has the family value to it, you know?
Hate Comcast so much.
I do. I really do.
It's like they shouldn't exist, but I allow them for now.
So I guess best case scenario, that merger with them and I think it was Time Warner just doesn't go through.
Falls through.
And then Comcast doesn't have the money for this, but
yeah, I mean, please don't, because why Comcast? Like, why? It's something like that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you like to see people suffer? Like. That's what I'm saying. Like
they do.
Yeah, I think they do. It's like, oh no one can be like. You just gotta rain on.
I mean, just to put it in perspective, like why I hate them so much. They were the main ones who were lobbying against net neutrality. So, and I'm kind of for that because I like the internet.
Yeah.
It is. So.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Considering they were the main ones doing that. They're literally like attacking my pastime, specifically the thing that this video is going like on the internet. I kind of would like to keep it that way, considering they're trying to go against that. Amongst other things, that's like the main reason I don't like them. So, you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You still there?
Yeah.
Dude, Comcast strikes again. This is bad.
I don't like it. Okay. Well,
oh my gosh.
Let's talk about something a little more uplifting. Yeah. Infinity War is officially the highest grossing superhero movie of all time.
Woo!
Yeah. And this is, keep in mind, this means that it's higher grossing than Black Panther, which already broke all the records. Avengers, the original Avengers, its entire run of like a month and a half or more. Age of Ultron's entire run. Civil War's entire run. Like, and Batman vs. Superman, of course. Like, all of these big budget,
huge movies,
big name superhero movies, their entire run was beat out by 2 weeks on market for Infinity War, which is insane.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Infinity War is just getting started. It's already what, number 3 movie?
That sounds right.
All time.
Yeah.
Maybe
Black Panther. So yeah,
Black Panther. So. That's what I'm saying. Black Panther was 3, so that means they're at least 3. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it was projected to be the number 1 movie ever, and I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, and they're like, yeah, we're on that path. Like,
yeah.
This is crazy. Like, how is this happening? You know, Marvel's just like, yeah, let's just let's do this again.
Let's just make all the money for the
That's
second
what I'm
time
saying.
this year.
It's like, I already have all the money, but just to make sure I have all the money, let me just take the rest of it. Like, why
Yeah.
not? It's oh my goodness, man. I don't understand it, but you know what? It's great though. Like the thing is, like they're all good movies. Like
Yeah.
as long like it's so I don't. They're making so like it feels like the success is almost unreal. It's like they're
Hmm.
just like it's like they're putting up video game high scores.
Yeah.
Like oh yeah, look, top of the leaderboard again, twice in a row. Like, and that's just with
Marvel just
Marvel
this year.
movies. That's what I'm saying. And like they're not even done with Marvel movies this year. Granted, Ant-Man and Wasp isn't gonna be, break the box office necessarily,
It
but it
doesn't
doesn't
need
need
to.
to.
Not
That's what I'm saying.
supposed
Like
to,
this is
yeah.
not that's what I'm saying. If it did, we'd be like, all right, Disney, we need to talk.
We need a break.
My
We
God.
can't keep
Like,
seeing
what?
these
No.
movies.
Like we need a break. What? Incredibles 2? No. Ah,
No.
box office breaks again. We just fixed it. What are you doing?
And I love how Deadpool 2, all its marketing is like, prepare for the second biggest movie of the summer.
It knows.
They
That's
know.
what I'm saying. They know. I love it because they know. It's just like, yeah, we're not number one, but we're not trying to be number one. We
We
understand.
literally can't be number one, so we'll settle for number 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and it works. You guys, Deadpool 2, number 2,
Yeah.
the second, they go second, like all this stuff. Like, and they're just like, yeah, like, we're fine with being second. Like, it's
Mhm.
fine. Like, we know it's fine.
Yeah.
But like, oh man, and oh yeah, that's this weekend too. I'm excited.
Mhm.
Like,
I won't be able to see it
Uh,
opening weekend, but like I'll see it
yeah.
before the end of the month. I'll be able to see it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll probably, I don't think I'm gonna go opening weekend just because like I need
Tired
a
of opening
break.
weekend stuff.
Right? Like, it's like, it's like, oh man, Black Panther. Oh man, Infinity War. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, they got like 3 more movies coming out. All this stuff coming
Like,
out. Yeah, you
I'll-
ready? No.
If I do end up seeing Solo, I'll probably end up seeing it after I've already seen Incredibles. Just how the way it's gonna work out.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna be able to see Deadpool before my brother gets back on the 26th. So
Okay.
that weekend or later that week.
Right.
Meaning I would see Deadpool 2, while Solo was already playing. And my brother doesn't really want to see Solo, so I have to see either alone or not at all until like
Okay.
maybe with a friend or something. I don't know. But we're definitely gonna see Incredible. So like just the way it's gonna work out, I'll probably. Plus, I'm not like that super hyped on Solo anyway.
I mean, of the next 3 movies coming out, it's definitely in 3rd place.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. The more it's like leading up to it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just Donald Glover. How excited!
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but him playing Lando is literally going to be the only reason I probably
Honestly, yeah, I love me some Donald Glover.
Because like, dude, I mean, you can tell he is having the time of his life.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my god! Like, I want to enjoy this with him. Almost. Like, I don't even care about any of the other characters. Like, just make sure Lando. Like, if Lando gets less than like if he doesn't get like any serious screen time, I know he's gonna be important, but it's Solo. Let's put all the screen time between him and Chewbacca. I'm like, or we could.
Or we just get a Lando movie.
Yeah, that's what, honestly, I'd rather watch a Lando movie with Donald Glover playing Billy D. Williams playing Lando. Than,
then this other guy playing a character who's kind of like Han Solo.
Yeah, I'd much rather see a Lando movie that Han Solo just happens to show up in than, a Han Solo movie that Lando's probably in maybe half of. But
yeah, and considering depending on how this movie works out, we easily could get a Lando movie. It's not out of the question.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so though. That'd be a real a Lando movie. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but Lando, he's I know Lando was never he's not one of the core 3, obviously, from the originals, but I mean, it's still Lando. Come on, Lando was one of my favorite characters from the original. Darth Vader, and then it was Lando. So Empire, I was
oh yeah. That was a
But
good movie
like,
for you then.
that's what I'm saying. But it's just like, yeah, I mean, if I go see, I'm not gonna see that one live through. But I actually, yeah, probably. I'm probably not, I'm not definitely not gonna see the opening weekend.
No,
But
no.
but I'm gonna be busy getting pre-ordering my tickets for Incredibles 2.
Oh, that's the week of
Honestly,
E3 too. Like we're not gonna have a
I
break.
know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna be so busy. Like I don't. Incredible. I mean, Han Solo is gonna have to wait till like almost July.
Yeah, I have to wait till it comes on
But,
Netflix or DVD or something.
that's what I'm saying. Like I might go to the. Is Redbox still a thing? Is that
I don't
still?
know. Maybe, probably.
I don't know. People use that was huge for like 2 years, and then it just kind
Yeah.
of disappeared when Netflix got serious. But
I mean, I think there's still some in like Walmart's and whatnot, but
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, definitely Incredibles 2 though. Woo, it's
Yes,
coming.
another Disney
I'm
movie.
ready. I know because Disney totally needs the money, but I
They
feel like
might
they
need
could
it to
use.
battle Comcast at this point. I
That's
don't
what I'm
know.
saying. Like they could use the
They could use
assets
it.
from like. I mean, but if you think about it, like they could use the assets just from like this year alone. They could like beef up their current offer.
At least put a down payment.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, all right, so we'll give you everything we made from Black Panther, and
What is that?
let's throw
$3 billion? Yeah, you can take it. You can
That's
have
what I'm saying.
it.
Yeah, like just incentives, like just for, and you know what? We'll just throw in our potential Captain Marvel, like just to tease that in there, or like event.
Yeah, Captain Marvel's gonna make at least 800. Like
Yeah, I know. I mean,
easily.
that's gonna be fun because everyone's gonna want to know. All right, so who's this person that's supposed to
Yeah.
save everybody?
Plus, it's
So,
the first female Marvel superhero movie, so
that's
that
true.
for it.
Sorry, Widow.
Sorry, not yet. You're getting your movie, but not yet.
Don't worry. We'll get you there.
I guess the Wasp is technically the first.
But it's not her movie.
It's not her
though.
movie, yeah.
Like it's Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's like saying
yeah.
It's like
Captain Marvel would be the firch solo
right
superhero movie outside of Wonder Woman, of course.
Yeah, but like Marvel wise, yeah, definitely, and like that kind of makes sense,
Yeah.
But man, oh man,
Yep.
yeah, that's so much movie.
Yeah. So speaking of all that, apparently many people were like concerned that Avengers 4 would be the last Avengers movie, and I can't remember if it was Kevin Feige or Bob Iger or the Russo brothers or someone high up at Disney was like, yeah, there will be more Avengers movies. Like, don't worry, like they will come. They even like tease more like obscure Marvel characters and Marvel team ups, kind of like the Guardians were.
Mm-hmm.
So they have movies planned for years in advance. So
that's what I'm saying. They probably have like up to 2025 planned already, and like we're just like we can't even handle 2018.
Yeah. I know there was like a document of like all the movies Disney has planned until 2022, and there was like 2 years where there was like 3 or 4 Marvel movies at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you manage that?
I mean, well, they're doing it right now. Like, Black Panther. I mean, we're 2 of 3 right now.
And like we were in a situation where in some countries Black Panther and Infinity War were both in the top 5 at the same time. So
like what?
Oh.
That's not. You're not supposed to be that successful. You're breaking the game, man.
Yeah.
This is not. Oh man, it's not fair. But like, yeah, I mean, but the way Infinity War is going, and then and like just Disney movies, like. It's weird when, granted, it's a Star Wars story, but like when Star Wars is like a Star Wars movie is like the most not like out of all the Disney movies coming out this year, like maybe between that and Ant-Man and Wasp is like the least anticipated Disney movie, which is crazy. But
yeah, because even like something like Wreck-It Ralph, I'm personally more excited about than Solo.
Yeah, I mean, Wreck-It, I don't know. Like, I feel like it has a lot of potential because I mean, like, it's gonna be the internet, so that's huge. You have so many opportunities with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't want to say the first one. Like, the first one was obviously good, but I feel like it could have been so much better. You could have focused on stuff. Like, they focused so much on like the racing, like Sandy
like
World
those
or
2 or
whatever.
3 worlds they created.
Yeah.
They could have done a little more world hopping, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I thought they were gonna do kind of like a channel chasers with video games. Like that's what I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah.
As I make my Fairly Odd Parents reference there for all those of you who knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the best Fairly Odd Parents movie special thing, by the way.
Probably. Well, I don't know. Does Jimmy Timmy Power Hours count?
Yeah, but I still like Channel Chasers a bit more.
Yeah,
me personally.
I just thought those were like I don't know because like I was I'd never watched Jimmy Neutron until
Same.
those came out, and then I was like, all right, yeah, and then Jimmy Neutron was all right, so I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, anyway, back to
Anyway,
I don't know how I got there, but anyway, back to Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, I think if they focus more, like, and I think this will be easier because no one's originally from the internet. I don't think. At least not from the last game or last movie. So I feel like this way they'll spend more time in different apps. Like, you know, they'll be in Angry Birds or they'll be in Flappy Bird or like I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Well, Pokemon Go, that would be that'd be interesting. Right?
I mean, Mario has already been apparently said to be in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Okay,
at least he's been rumored to. So like Nintendo stuff is up in the air. Or it's on the table. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. It's on the table.
So if Mario's in, then no, all bets are off or anything. Like
So one last thing involving Disney. Do you play Fortnite?
I don't. I personally don't. I have a lot of friends who do, but I don't.
I don't either.
I know I'd be trash because I'm not even good at shooting games as it is. So like no.
Like I've got decent at Overwatch, but that's it. Like I'm still not great. The reason I bring it up is because Joe and Anthony Russo, they love playing Fortnite Battle Royale.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this. Is this the Thanos thing?
and the developers at Epic loved Infinity War. So like the Russo brothers called up Epic and was like, yo, we like your game. And they were like, yo, we like your movie. Cool. How about we put Thanos in your game? And they're like, okay, let's do it.
Like, yes. Correct. Oh my goodness.
That is the correct answer.
It's like, yes. No, this is like the real question is how soon can you put Thanos in this game?
Like they announced it and released it the same day. Like
I know, that's so cool.
And like I've seen it streamed and like that just you pick up the Infinity Gauntlet, you turn into Thanos, jump in the air, like dive in and just crash through a building. Like like that alone wants me to play this game.
Right? Like, don't even try to win, just find the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Okay, so like when I first heard about that, I was like, oh my gosh, what if like you get it and then half the players are just randomly
that'd be
so like
I'd be overpowered, but like
it'd
be funny, but it would kind of break a I think his powers that like he can punch, he can like shoot lasers with the Power Stone. You can do like a super jump and like a super like fall smash thing. I think that's about it. He doesn't have any like time manipulation or like snapping anything. Like which I mean you gotta balance it a little bit. You gotta give other people a chance to at least fight back.
Yeah.
It's a game still.
Yeah, I know. I would like I heard about this like right after like I was got Infinity War, so I was like, yo, what if they could just like balance?
Yeah. And that would also kind of break it because you pick up the gauntlet and then if you're beaten you drop it and then someone else picks it up and becomes Thanos, so like you would cut it in half every single time someone got it, so that would just kind of
it'd be like terrible to even try to play. I get that.
Like you would just die without even really getting a chance to play. That would be a bit disappointing. That would probably discourage a lot of people from trying.
Yeah, it'd be terrible if a movie ended that way.
Yep.
It's just, oh man, he didn't have a chance. Yeah, it must be like Spider-Man's like, yeah, that must suck, doesn't it? You know?
So yeah, it's a timed event, so I'm not sure how much longer it's gonna be there. It was released last Tuesday, I think. So it might still be up, it might not. I'm not even sure if it's still there, but like still it's just really cool that this game that everyone's playing and this
Hmm.
movie that everyone's watching just came together for this epic crossover event. Like
Right.
that's
It
cool.
just make it just makes too much sense. It's
Mm,
like, hey, this movie is the biggest thing. Oh, dude, this game is the biggest thing. And
yeah,
like, hey, you know what we should do? You think, well, you know, it's like, boom, let's just
yeah.
like, and I'm kind of glad it's a limited thing because I mean, I feel like after a while it'd get pretty old, but I kind
Mm,
of like it's like mid hype, and I feel like they can keep doing that. Like the whatever's the biggest thing in media, they just somehow put it in Fortnite or something.
yeah. Or it doesn't even have to be like the biggest thing. It just be random crossovers like the Terminator or
Oh
like
yeah, that'd be
Alien or
cool.
Predator or something like that. Just
Oh, that'd be so terrifying.
yeah. Actually,
You just see like,
I think the Predator was actually a mode in PUBG, but still, like you could do stuff like that.
yeah, you just see a xenomorph, you're just like,
Hmm.
oh nope, going this
Nope, nope, nope,
way.
nope.
Nope.
Yeah, or like Freddy Krueger or
Mhm.
Jason Voorhees or just there are so many options now that like you've introduced this idea of crossover characters in this
Right,
big game. Just go all out with it. Like call up whoever you can. Like clearly people like this game. Like
right,
big studios like this game. So like I I wouldn't I wouldn't mind more more of these.
right. Because wasn't John Wick in it for something or something like
Yeah,
that?
think if you either have to buy it or get a certain amount of kills, you can get a John Wick skin. So
Okay,
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Hmm. Okay. I think that's all I have today this week. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Not really. Like, I mean, guys, Deadpool 2's out next this weekend, so
Yes.
get your popcorn ready.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
like
I
that movie
mean,
doesn't even have to be like great. I'm just gonna have a fun time with it. That's all I
that's
care
what I'm saying.
about.
It's just gonna be a lot of fun. Like, it's
Mhm.
not gonna be, you know, the storyline's gonna be but like, no
Who
one's
cares?
coming for the compelling storyline. You're
Yeah.
coming to see Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like, it's just gonna be funny. Like, I like
Mhm.
it.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah, I'm so excited.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just this summer is gonna be crazy.
Oh my gosh, I know. I mean, it already is, so that's the thing. Like, we just getting started.
Mm.
I don't think we've had a time like a set amount of this with this much movie going on in a long time. Like, I can't remember the last time something like this happened.
As far as movies go, 20 no, maybe 2015. Yeah, 2015 had Jurassic World, Age of
Mhm.
Ultron, Star Wars.
Yeah,
That's probably the closest we've gotten.
yeah, but even those were kind of spaced out because like
Yeah.
it wasn't like May, June, July, like
It's
like
2016. We had Deadpool 2 in February. Or
right.
sorry, Deadpool in February, BVS in March, uh, Civil War in May.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
guess that.
yeah, so we got those three big movies right in a row.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, it's pretty solid. So yeah, I guess so. I think it's just this one. It's just a lot of hype.
Yeah,
Like obviously Infinity War, and that was huge. So
yeah. Okay, and with that, we will see you next time when we continue our road to E3, hopefully talking about Activision and or Ubisoft. So, see you
yeah,
next time.
I guess.